Okay, I'm back after having 2 weeks off, so yay. Which I think a lot of people are going to find odd because it's probably going to come out today, probably.
Probably. Yeah, so I guess, 2 weeks for us.
It'll be like, not even a week for you. Well, maybe a week. It depends if we can get it out on the day we're recording this.
We'll see.
Although I guess in other news, this is probably going to be the last D4DJ related thing for a while because we got some other things in the works and we just kind of needed to kind of shelve one of the things we were doing.
Yes.
Although I may just kind of upload fortnightly instead of trying to do weekly. Although I guess keyword was trying.
Yeah.
And I think we may just, again, do the rotation, the weekly rotation we're doing, but instead space it out fortnightly. So I guess one fortnight will be D4DJ and the other, creepypastas or whatever I feel like putting out.
Yeah.
But I guess with all that news out of the way, I guess we should get into part 3 of the cover tracks.
Yeah.
Well, volume 2 cover tracks.
Yes.
Which
specifically.
We got to start off with, of course, Rondo's Tokyo Teddy Bear, which I actually really like the original.
Yeah, so I guess, as usual, to preface, we've just listened over the originals of all 4 of the tracks that we'll be going over today.
And we'll kind of be comparing the two.
Yeah, so
which I think if you've seen the previous parts or other times we did the cover tracks, you'll probably understand kind of that already because we kind of talk a bit how it stacks up to the original.
Yes, absolutely.
Although I guess I'm going to have to give my fairly unbiased opinion here, but I would say the cover does kind of beat the original.
Right.
Although I guess I'll let you be the judge of that.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I will say both Tokyo Teddy Bear and Infinite Rebirth are 2 songs.
I say, wouldn't it be... Well, I guess it would be Infinite Rebirth?
I guess so, yeah, with the infinite symbol, the infinity symbol. But yeah, I would say they're probably 2 songs that you would think are pretty much easy pickings for Rondo to completely smash out of the ballpark. Because they're 2 songs that are also good songs in their own right, but in that vein of Rondo already. So interesting.
Although I guess I do have to point out that. Well, if you're outside of Japan, which I'm pretty sure most of the people watching this would probably be, considering, I'm not speaking. Okay, I had to stop myself there. I'm not speaking, Japanese, so I don't think there's going to be much of a native Japanese audience watching this.
Yes.
Considering, I think there's more people that can speak Japanese now in Japan, but it's still, not a large number from the top of my head.
English. Speak English in Japan. You said speak Japanese in Japan. I would assume most probably do. Okay,
that was a fun slip of the tongue, but it's not available digitally outside of Japan. Well, I guess it's like SoundCloud or something like that, but legally, I guess.
Yes, other bootleg versions potentially out there. But
although I guess thanks to me, having some foresight, I actually brought the Volume 2 cover track.
Yes.
Actually, I think I brought it along with alongside the one that was coming out at the time, which I believe was 8.
Yeah.
So
that's what we have on file. It's Volume 8 as well.
It's a shame that they the physical releases didn't have instrumentals. That would have been nice.
Yeah, that would have been cool. I guess I can understand why it doesn't for the covers. Obviously, for the originals, that makes a lot of sense. But for the cover tracks, I can see why there wouldn't be instrumental versions of each of the songs.
So if you want to see this thing, listen to this thing, you either have to get and you're not in Japan, you're going to have to get a physical copy or sail the seas, my friend.
Or I guess you'll be able to hear it in chopped up parts throughout the video.
Oh, yeah.
As well. So originally produced by Neru and sung by Kagame Rin. Probably butchered that, but
I think you're pretty close from memory.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of all the technicals out of the way.
So I guess we shall get into it. again, I just absolutely love the chorus. And God, I was first time listening to this, I think, in game, I believe, although I may have heard it through the cover track before they took it, delisted it from the, non-Japan side of things.
Yes.
And yeah, that chorus, it still bloody hooks hard. Although I guess it's because, again, since it's not really in my rotation for obvious reasons, I guess it's still relatively fresh compared to the other stuff that I've listened to.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just goes hard.
Yeah.
I love it.
I would definitely say, like, there's been instances in the past where similarly the cover has kind of just been like the unit bringing an older song sort of into the future with sort of like modern, fresh production and stuff like that. But I'll definitely agree that the chorus in the cover definitely hits a lot harder and is probably, definitely on the better compared to the original. The original, I think, although has its own charm.
Definitely.
Yeah, being sort of a bit more trashier sort of sounding, a bit more sort of rock, where this, because it does have that more sort of modern production to it, and I guess, the Rondo flair kind of moves more into the metal sphere.
Although I got to say, the organ at the start was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Actually, I think, doesn't it come back throughout it in that section? Was that a different instrument I'm thinking of?
There's definitely that organ at the start. The other sort of sound that comes in, I would say, is probably more or less a synthesizer, or it could also be like synthesizer emulating an organ. That's why it kind of sounds similar, but not the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you got anything else to say before we get back to it?
I'm just hoping that I guess we get some more Rondo-isms throughout the song, and it maybe goes off a little bit, maybe a bit more crazier.
Actually, the thing is, since I haven't listened to it a while and that often, I kind of can't really remember what's ahead because, again, It's been a while. So,
yeah.
although I think may get a little different from memory.
Oh, let's see.
さよなら先生お元気で高鳴った胸によだれが垂れ正直もんは何を見る正直もんはバカを見る正直もんは何を見る正直もんはバカを見るああこれじゃまだ足りないよもっと大きなミシンで心貫くのさ全知全能の言葉をほら聞かせてよ脳みそ以外もいらないとはの愛との近未来想像明日の焦燥ただ揺らしてよ縫い目の隙間を埋めておくれ何もないよ引き剥がされて一徳図の海へどこも細胞もそう僕いないよ僕いないよ投げ捨てられて帰る場所すらどこにもないんだよ存在証明やシャラップ損だらけの体完成したよズルしたよ今かいどうも変われないの変わりたいの何もないこんなの僕じゃない縫い目はほっとけて引きちぎれた埋め立ったデイズで命火を持つ誰だっていいのさ代わりになれば
Just that bit at the end there just really sells it for me.
Yeah, it has a very big ending for sure.
Oh, not only that, but how long is it? It feels a lot shorter than it is.
Just under 3.5 minutes.
It feels more like kind of what 1.5, 2 minutes.
Yeah, it does power through for sure. I think also I guess like the verses are pretty standard, but even like the solo, and we get the guitar solo and the synth solo, they sort of come and go pretty quickly, so they don't really overstay their welcome, which probably makes it feel, a bit quicker as well. And obviously the tempo really pushes, for sure.
Although, I guess since we're at the end, we might as well jump straight to how does it stack up to the original?
Yeah, I think it does a really good job of what I mentioned earlier, just sort of like giving an already good song a fresh, modern sort of approach. There is a little bit of the, I guess, charm missing from the original, the sort of trashiness that's from the original, but it makes sense that it wouldn't have as much of that. I think the one maybe negative, and this is maybe just more speculation from my point of view, is that the bass guitar from the original sounds really, really good. I suspect that the bass that we hear in the cover isn't a real bass guitar and is just MIDI like played in. Something about it, feels a little bit too sort of like perfect and on the grid and too consistent as well. I mean, they could have just got an amazing bass player. Yeah, it's definitely up for debate, I think. But it sounds too well done for the bass playing, and that's maybe where some of the charm gets lost. And this isn't just particularly in this song. In like a lot of modern metal and rock stuff, it's like too perfect for me sometimes, and it feels a little bit overcooked. But
although I guess it's obvious where I sit on this. Like, yes, the original's pretty good, but I think Rondo just knocks it out the park.
Yeah, I would definitely agree, particularly with the chorus. I think the chorus is what really sold it for me.
Although I guess Rondo's always been pretty strong when it comes to the vocals.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's maybe the biggest change as well, is like the original being a male vocalist, and he's a bit more on the harsher end of sort of like the singing, where like singing kind of meets yelling. It's not quite like metal screaming, but that's probably the biggest difference for me. And I don't know whether that sort of like helps the song. I guess it just kind of takes it in a different direction.
Oh yeah. Although I think it kind of enhances it, but that's just me.
Yeah, it can work either way.
I think I could enjoy both, although I think my definite preference is Rondo's cover.
For sure.
Although I guess I think it does put Rondo in a pretty strong spot for the rankings. Next up would be, I guess, Infinite Rebirth, or I guess wouldn't it be Mugen Rebirth?
Potentially, I guess. If we count the infinite symbol,
or is it Mugen Infinite Rebirth? Although I guess if they're using Mugen for infinite, wouldn't it be Mugen?
I would assume so, yeah. Infinite Rebirth, or Mugen Rebirth. Either way, that is what is up next. Originally performed by Daigo.
What a name.
Yeah.
As the fifth opening song, well, the fifth opening theme song, close. And now for Card Fight Vanguard animated series, which I'm been kind of tempted to watch it, but at the same time, it's not my kind of thing. Like, I couldn't even really get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in the day, so how am I going to get into another thing that's kind of, well, I don't want to say similar to it, but it's giving me similar vibes.
That's what I thought, because, when I had a little read of what Card Fight Vanguard is, that my first thoughts was like, this is pretty much Yu-Gi-Oh! But without, I guess, the fantasy element.
Legally distinct Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah. Maybe riding off the tails of the popularity of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Although, I guess, is Yu-Gi-Oh! Even still popular as it used to be? I don't think it is it? Although, I think it's still going strong.
I don't know if the show is, but definitely the card game is, very, very popular. It has its controversy, from what I understand, but it's still pretty high up there.
Well, I guess we'll get into this song.
希望の翼何度でも僕らは生まれ変わるスタンドアップ勝利への土手駆け上がる僕らの皇帝罠ばっか敵ばっか逃げたくなる
Okay, so I guess I'll start off with your thoughts.
I think the intro was really, really good. I liked how that sort of like gently eased us in, and then as soon as the sort of band comes in, it really kicks you in the face.
Oh yeah, again, just another thing I guess Rondo does is a really strong opening.
Yes, for sure. I think when we listened to the original, we both agreed that the original was very distinct of being sort of familiar to every other like anime opening theme tune. This doesn't quite have that same feeling, at least not from the start. Definitely when it gets to the chorus, it absolutely does. But the rest of the song just kind of sounds like a song. It doesn't really sound like an anime theme song. So that's interesting, I guess, how just changing a few things can really move it into a different direction. Everything sounds great. It really just sounds like an original song. I guess the cover wasn't too distinct, so it kind of leaves it pretty open to sounding like it could be anyone could do a version and it kind of be their own.
Although I just wanted to double check because I'm pretty sure I do have it in my rotation, but I swear I don't hear it that often. Am I just not seeing it? It should be. I must have taken it out of the I know it's in the older list, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
It's not in the current list that I use for my rotation.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Although, again, it is a pretty good, strong first half. Well, first quarter, I guess you can say.
Yes. Third, maybe, at this point.
Let's get to it.
約せはしない日常で消えかけそうな熱唱試練の連続で君の夢が実体だと今度は僕が君にこの手差し伸べるよ心が重なって届けない今未来へ羽ばたく夢の翼いつだって僕らは空をかけるどんな苦しみに襲われても諦めない願いが奇跡を呼ぶ弾けたウェブレイクウェイ無限リバース 世界が壊れてく闇に包まれても想いを一つに手を取り上げて絆をつなごう今果てなく広がる希望の翼何度でも僕らは生まれ変わるたとえ暗闇に落とされても光の差す場所へ舞い上がろう弾けたウェブレイクウェイ無限リバース解き放てリミットウェイ無限リバース
And there we go, which, again, I would say compared to the first song Rondo covered, it doesn't really stack up, but it comes close, but it does fall a bit short to Tokyo Teddy Bear. But I guess the most interesting question is, how does it stack up to, its original counterpart?
Yeah. I'd say this one is definitely better than the original. Not only, does it sort of like take what the original did and sort of just make it better, but I feel, as I mentioned, it kind of just like makes it a Rondo song. Although I guess it is on the more sort of hard rock side of Rondo rather than the metal side, which I think they did really, really well. The solo was pretty ripper. Everything like that, I don't think you can really fault it as either just like a standalone song or a cover. I think they did really, really well. Really taking it and making it their own. I guess, comparing it to Tokyo Teddy Bear, I'd actually probably say I like this one over Tokyo Teddy Bear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For me, it's kind of a close, but I think I definitely have to say Tokyo Teddy Bear takes the win, in my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, I guess we can have different opinions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though yours is wrong, mine is right.
Yeah, two pretty good, high quality cover songs from Rondo there.
Which I'm just trying to remember what we did for rankings for this cover track. I think Rondo would probably be close to top billing.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head.
Yeah, without placing specifics, I'd probably say Rondo is top 3 for me at the moment.
We still have one last contender
Yes.
left to enter the ring, which...
The wild card.
Yeah. Definitely is the case, because you're in for a treat, especially with this first song, Wounded Innocence.
Yeah, because...
which I think, I ain't going to lie here, but it would probably definitely be one of their best covers, if not probably one of their best, songs, period, in my opinion.
Interesting.
Which is weird because it's like it's not exactly their wheelhouse.
Yeah.
But they just pull it off.
Yeah, because, listening to the original, I definitely wouldn't expect Lyrical Lily to cover this song. Definitely the next one.
I'll say what's it?
But yeah.
Sansho Inosensu.
Yes. the original title of the song, or the Japanese title. But originally...
I guess I am improving in that regard. God, don't get me started with German pronunciation.
Originally performed by Uchida Maya and used as the opening theme for the Riddle Story of Devil anime series.
Which, do we ever look at what that's about?
Boarding school anime.
Okay. That's interesting. Great. Now I'm going to see if I can dig it up somewhere. Although I do have, I have my ways. But I guess let's get into this song.
Yes.
God, again, it's like, this is something completely different to what Lyrical Lily usually does, and yet they just nail it.
Yeah.
I think there's another one that's like this. I can't remember what it's called, but they've done another cover. Just give me a second. They've done another cover similar to this. Close enough. Oh, fuck it. You know what? One more time. They've done another cover. Can I not say cover?
I guess not.
Briggsy tries to say cover for 5 minutes. They've done another cover like this that kind of is a bit different from their typical wheelhouse.
Right.
God, now, was that hard for me to say?
Yeah, I think if you had shown me this song with zero context, I probably would have said it was Happy Around or potentially even Mermaido.
Actually, I think that would be interesting. Although I think they wouldn't have been able to pull it off as well as Lyrical Lily, though.
Yeah, it.
Although I think they would come pretty close.
Yeah, so far. Also, like comparing to the original, yeah, they've done a really good job with it. And again, yeah, sort of taking the original and sort of really put their own style and spin on it. And yeah, some really interesting stuff there in the production, just like weird random sounds, sort of non-musical stuff that is just sort of fun and works really well. Yeah.
Although I think you can see why I really like the cover.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It just has... I think the reason why they're able to do such a good job covering this song is it just has the kind of the right energy that I think Lyrical Lily could work with.
True. Yeah, yeah. I'd agree. Definitely.
Great. Could I talk even more out of my ass? Next thing you know, I'm going to be bloody doing what astrological signs and stuff like that, tarot cards. Oh, God. Send me to the loony bin when I start pulling them out.
Yes. Noted. Yeah, so I'm interested to see if like the energy just continues.
I think it kind of does.
Yeah.
Although
if they can build on
I need
top
to
of
check
it.
to see if it is in my rotation. Oh, I might as well use the search feature. That'd probably be quicker. No, it's not in my usual rotation. What? Okay, that needs correcting. I guess let's get back to it while I sort that out.
退屈しのぎにこの人に午後のお茶を用意してほしいのあの子は美味しすぎるアイコンだわフライ尽くしてくぎ言うんだって美女が言うふざけた天使すらしないで消えたいの無表情に埋め込まれたものと生まれてきたことさえもつじつま合わないわ無限界許す心願創生せよかくいう私も堂々して二人許されるフル装備もない激戦区この愚かさが愛しくて何かが起きた夕暮れ黒い髪をほどいてくようにこぼれ落ちる優しさを私の道は私が決める多少イノセンスかくいう私も堂々して噛み取られてくぜひもなく常に続中姿のすその真実をバカみたいに信じりゃいいのやばいかゆ動かされちゃったって単純につぶやけばいいじゃん
Oh, it is in there. It's under its Japanese title. That's why I didn't immediately recognize it. Okay. I told you it was in there. I was trying to look for it under its English title.
I see.
So I think I had it pulled from the Japanese cover track. So yeah, that's a bit annoying because I have
Right.
kind of like the English release and then the Japanese release, which actually doesn't have most of the titles translated.
Yeah.
Because it's weird seeing it, especially now that I moved over to the Japanese server of D4DJ, is that some of the titles are in English, but most of them are in their original
Right.
format.
Yeah, yeah.
Which took a little adjusting to. Actually, I'm still kind of adjusting to it.
I bet. Cool.
Which I guess, if you want to find me, well, I guess just keep an eye out for Brigzies 2 on the Japanese server.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Although I think if you want to find me on the EN, just again, big rigs for days. I may just throw my player ID for both EN and JP.
Yeah. Why not? in the description or
Yeah.
in comment or something. Yeah, for sure.
Might do that for all future videos.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although I don't think I actually have a set list set for the JP, but I think I'm going to have to update my EN set list. Although I think you may have access to, I think I've got a few set lists that you may or may not have access to.
Right.
Although I guess feel free to check it out. I haven't quite jumped ship, but I'm, I guess, playing both now.
Yeah, I guess final thoughts on...
Well, I don't think I really need to say more because I kind of said everything I said, but to summarize everything, this song slaps.
Yeah, I would say it kind of takes... Again, it kind of does another thing that Rondo did with Infinite Rebirth, where, yeah, it kind of takes it away from being like a classic anime opening theme sounding song, but it also makes it more sound like sort of a mid-2000s Cartoon Network opening theme.
Actually, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, like, yeah, very much in the same vein of like Ben 10.
I was about to say all the Cartoon Network kids sound off in the comments.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, God, actually. Oh, wait, I am one of them. Okay, I'll sound off in the comments then.
Yeah, so, and I actually like that about it. Yeah, kind of, I don't know, just makes it more fun. Yeah, compared to the original, I think.
Although, wouldn't you been Nickelodeon? Or was that later?
Yeah, I wasn't fortunate enough to have paid TV growing up, so I was more public TV. So
okay, I think I know. I think for a brief bit, I think I had Cartoon Network. Although I guess we've gotten a bit off track.
we have.
So where were we?
Over to
Shining Smiley Story.
Yes.
Let's go.
Originally performed by Hololive Idol Project.
Which was kind of surprising to see, but not surprising considering, well, I know they have done quite a few, collabs with Hololive.
Yes.
Well, I think more Idol Project, more specifically.
Yeah, interesting. All right, let's get into it.
同じ未来を見ていたいあの夢手にしたいそれぞれ違った心で走れ Goどこ見ても真っ暗な場所に芽生えてたほんの小さな希望にこの瞳奪われた不安で揺れる心をうまくチューニングしてほんの小さな勇気を振り絞っていたよ諦めの文字手にとして進む苦しい時ももう私は一人じゃないからだからもっと夢追いかけたいワクワク止まらない想像を超えていく世界見せてあげるアクセスしてみたい後悔なんてそうさせないそれぞれ違った心で走れ Go
Okay, well, I guess I'm going to start this one off because I've been a bit slack. But I got to say, even listening to the original, this is like, yeah, this screams Lyrical Lily.
Yeah, it's got...
And they just, again, knock it out the park.
Absolutely agree. I guess the song itself is not necessarily in my wheelhouse. So it's like, it's an okay song. But yeah, Lyrical Lily absolutely take the original and just completely...
Run off with it.
Yeah. It's nice. It's fun. It's bouncy. I would say the one thing that is really nice for me is in the production, particularly the bass synth that they're using. It's just like nice and bouncy and it's fun.
I was say that's basically Lyrical Lily in a nutshell.
Yeah. So it's sort of, it's nice when, I guess, the sort of like theme within the unit sort of gets matched well with the music and it sort of like coalesces and rounds everything out nicely. Overall, pretty good. All right.
あの空に輝く眩しい想いは見たことのない光をリアルに届けるよいつも聞こえるエール
And there we go. Although I did sing a little at the end. Hopefully we cut that out. Final thoughts on how does it stack up to the original?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I guess like the song in general isn't really my cup of tea, but to make comparisons, I think the actual like the musical backing is much better. As for like what they do vocally, sort of same really, but yeah, I think this is one where I think you can very easily take out the vocals and just the instrumental is
Would
a really,
be,
really
yeah,
good
solid.
track. Yeah, so that's probably the highest praise I think I can give it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so pretty good overall. I guess, yeah, it doesn't really alter too far from the original, but it's a nice overall song.
Okay, so I guess you could say the cover is better than the original.
Yeah.
I think that's something I think most can agree with. Maybe except for Hololive fans, but you know what they're like at times. Sorry, that's such a cheap shot.
I think that's kind of any Idol fan base, really.
True. I'll let you have a go at your ranking first.
Yeah, so definitely, I still think Happy Around is my top pick. So yeah, they're definitely coming in number 1, first place for me. Number 2, this is where things get pretty tough.
Oh yeah, like again, this is a pretty packed, a pretty stacked deck.
Yeah,
No, that's not the word I'm looking for. This is like again an absolute goat of the cover track.
yeah.
I think there's maybe one other volume that comes pretty close, but basically, I would say basically almost every song be almost a banger. I think is pretty high praise because usually you're over the place when typically.
Yes, for sure. I think I'm probably gonna go Mermaido for second place.
Oh.
Third place is gonna go to. I'm gonna go Photon for third, Rondo for fourth, Lyrical Lily for fifth, and yeah, Peaky coming in last.
Okay, well, I guess I got to stop beating around the bush. First place is going to be Lyrical Lily. So I guess this is a first for me.
Yeah.
It's just, I can't. Although coming in an extremely close second is Rondo. Coming in third, probably tying with Happy Rondo for fourth, will be Photon Maiden. So I guess you can swap them around. Either way, they're basically interchangeable, but I'll just give the ever so slight edge to Photon.
Yeah.
Which means coming in for fifth, this is tough. Climax Jump and Black Wings are solid. And the only reason why these two are at the back end is just because, well, again, Gumble Rumble and Cyber are kind of like probably the only real letdowns of this track, of this cover track. And even them, I would say, although I guess I got that move bias, but again, it doesn't really quite stack up to the original. So I'm trying to do this somewhat objectively, which is kind of, well, a load of horse shit, considering how can you be subjective about something like this, considering it's very opinion-based.
Yes.
I think Peaky is going to clutch out fifth place with Mermaido coming in a close sixth.
Okay.
Although, would I recommend the Volume 2 cover track? Well, considering I brought the thing, that is your answer.
Yes.
And I guess that does us for, I guess, anything D4DJ related for a while, unless I decide to just one fortnight do Creepypasta and then the next do, well, D4DJ, but I'm not sure yet. So I guess this probably be the last, thing D4DJ related for a while.
Yes, yeah. We'll have a look at scheduling and see what comes down the pipeline. But
because there's been a project we've had in the works since last year.
Yes.
Although I guess we kind of were vague about it. I think during the spring cleaning.
We've mentioned it sparingly.
Oh yeah. Although again, I don't know why we're keeping such radio silence, because in the end I think it's going to be a terrible video anyway. But that's just me being a doomer as usual.
Yeah.
Although it's probably going to be up there as one of our most ambitious videos, considering we actually have a script instead of doing it off the cuff like we usually do.
Yeah.
Although I think there's some videos we've done with like a loose script. Although, those didn't see the light of day. Did they?
I don't think so.
Although I think that project's still in the works as well, because I guess we never had really time to, well, I guess I'm always tweaking the idea. That's the thing, is like, yeah, we're making progress,
yes.
and I come in and like, now throw it all out, we're starting from scratch again.
Yeah.
I guess that's the problem when you're a creator. It's like you put so much time and effort into something, and then one day you just wake up and it's like, okay, this is all fucking trash. Start again.
It does happen sometimes.
With me, it happens 24/7.
I guess let us know what your rankings are for the Volume 2 cover tracks. And yeah, as Briggsy has mentioned, this will be the last D4DJ video for a little while.
Possibly.
So I guess, yeah, let us know in the comments as well what D4DJ video you would like us to see do next. All right. Well, I guess that does us for this one. Leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and you'll catch us next time.
Yeah, hopefully. Unless I fall off a cliff or something.